The people that are in charge of the music industry led the music industry off of a cliff, thinking about short term gain. So, all of these record label heads who did all of these stupid deals with these companies, who didn't innovate and build any technology themselves, who priced the music the way companies wanted the music priced and all of these things, and they're just looking at their own bonuses. The way they're incentivized is way different than the way founders of companies are incentivized. So they're thinking short term and they're not thinking about the long term interests of the artist. They're not thinking about the long term interests of the business. They're thinking about what is this quarter going to look like and am I going to get my bonus? And they handed the keys over to technology companies. Technology companies don't give a fuck about music.
It's your man Delvin. Welcome to Delvin's Room. And that was just music executive Troy Carter, who has been behind a lot of hits going back to 99. And he was speaking about what's really going on in the music industry and why things are the way they are now. Explaining how tech companies have got into the music industry and they could care less about artistry and stuff like that, right? And I think that is such an interesting thing to know that a lot of people out here, we've been like, man, why don't this music feel the same no more? Why isn't music hitting like that? Why isn't things happening within the music industry or just music culture, period? Why is that? What's going on? What's the difference now? And to hear a music exec who had success say that you having these tech companies getting into this space and they're not caring about artistry, they're just trying to get their technology, their app, to be as successful as possible. So it's not about, making sure we have the most talented rappers or the most talented singers or the most talented artists, period. No, it is about making sure Spotify is the most functioning app and it has the most users. So when you look at the music industry like that, it makes sense why the music industry is a shit show now. It makes sense why we're not hearing the most capable artists making music. It makes sense now why hip hop hasn't had a number one hit in damn near 2 years now. It makes sense why R&B is lacking. It makes sense why rock and roll is lacking. It makes sense why pop is lacking. It makes sense why the whole music industry is failing. Because it's not about the music, it's about the app. It's about the technology. Who cares about the music? In their minds, the people care about the music, but the